Work.
Hey, what do you like that test? Don't worry about this. You know, you lost it.
You must have heard the bell.
You heard it way down there?
All right, good evening, everybody. Good to be here, amen.
What's her name at?
Got our special guest, Mr. Donald Bivens. Glad to have you this evening. Going to be teaching us our active shooter training, right? And we're all looking forward to that. Amen. Been looking forward to it for a long time. Don't forget the services this coming week. Wednesday evening, 6:30 in the fellowship hall. Next Sunday morning, Sunday school at 10 a.m. Prayer room 5:30. Brother Randy's already informed me we're going to have a choir practice again next Sunday at 4:30. And don't forget next Sunday night at 6 o'clock. Special singing guest next Sunday night, Turning Point. So everybody try to come out and support that. Amen. I'm sure you'll get blessed. Good. As far as announcements go, that's all I have. Has anybody else got anything?
We're gonna go on a hike Saturday morning. Anybody wants to go on the hike with us, be up at Telco at Hardy's at 9 o'clock, Saturday morning.
With that being said, we'll go ahead and take up the evening pastor's offering. Amen. Let's go to the Lord and ask Him for His blessing on God. Dear kind and gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to You once again, Lord. We just thank You for all the goodness and all Your grace and all Your mercy that You bestow on each and every one of us. Thank You for saving our souls, Lord. We pray, Lord, if there be one here tonight that's lost, that tonight will be their night, Lord. So just open their heart up to Jesus. Father, we pray, dear Lord, that You'll bless the offering, Lord. Please bless those that can give, Lord, as well as those who can't, but would like to. Father, just please bless the entire evening services tonight, Lord. Please bless the training that we're going to receive tonight. Lord, just have Your way here. Lord, we pray, we give You all the honor, Lord, forever and ever. All right, everybody grabbing one of these red hymnals, and we're going to sing one song tonight. It's going to be a congregational song. Page 120, Victory in Jesus.
Precious blood,
Bless them, Lord.
All right, now we'd like to welcome Monroe County Sheriff's Captain and Reverend Donald Bivens. Good to have you with us, Donald.
All right, I would like to say this before I start. Be much in prayer for our deputy. He was involved in a crash last night. He's banged up pretty bad and everything, but he got to come home, but he can't hardly move. And they found something that one doctor said looked like a tumor on the kidney whenever that they did do that. So it made me a blessing that he had to crash. So just remember him in your prayer. I am Donald Bivens. I grew up in Tellico Plains. When I graduated high school, I went straight into law enforcement. I didn't go into law enforcement around here. I went into law enforcement in Knox County. I left my home, went up there, and I've done 31 years of law enforcement with Knox County Sheriff's Office. And then I retired. I was retired 2 weeks when Sheriff Jones from Monroe County called me, wanted me to come to work for him. And I did, and I've been there for the past 4 years. So I've been in law enforcement for the past 35 years. And I've been an instructor for the past 12, all right? And teaching people teaching law enforcement mainly the things to do and what not to do and things like that. And then for the past several years, I've been doing this class right here to businesses and churches. This is the 4th one this month that I've done it to, and businesses and churches, because people are concerned about this, and they have every right to be. One of the first things that you're going to see, and I'm going to talk you through it. It's got some songs in it that I don't like, so a song in it that I don't like, so I don't let the song volume play. So I'm going to talk you through the slideshow to start with, and then we will get into it. But this is the actual video, and it's of Columbine High School. You're going to see some actual footage out of that school when that shooting took place. Okay, so go ahead, sir, start.
Jefferson County 911.
This is the library at Columbine High School. You can hear the panic in her voice.
I thought you went to my shoulder. If it was just a left, you shoulder. Okay, has anybody been injured, ma'am? Okay. And the school was in a panic, and I'm in the library. I thought, I'm on the table, kid. Hands over the table.
All right, he's gonna turn the volume down now. And this thing is put out by Homeland Security. It's entitled Day to Remember. This is either that was the library that you saw there, and that's an explosion in the library where them boys had went into the library. All right, and you'll get to see them here in a minute. And it's time-fed video. That's one of the shooters that you can see that's standing on the stage. The other one is walking around down in that area. And they are so ruthless and cold that you can't describe it. I mean, you talk about two demon-possessed individuals, right here they are. All right, and they're still living in the world today. These type of people are. We see it every day. Here's children that's escaping from the area. You see the fire in the back there that's burning, where that they have set stuff on fire. Things didn't happen like they intended for it to, because they had thousands of rounds of ammunition, they had propane tanks, they had all kinds of stuff that they were going to set off. The boys just didn't have enough knowledge to know how to do it. That's one of the fires that they set in the school. You'll see, if I ain't already missed it, a shot of a teacher that's leaving in this area. And right there he is. He's the most beloved teacher at Columbine High School. I'll talk about him in just a minute. But this is some of the aftermath of it. You see the propane tanks, the melted chairs, and stuff like that. It's going to get into the actual footage of it here in just a minute, of the pictures that the police have took when they come in. And I mean, you can see the carnage and everything that happened with 12 deaths. That was what the total death was. The teachers hung out on their windows, telling them that people was bleeding to death, trying to get them help and stuff like that. And this is the aftermath of it. All these things that you see sitting around outside there, them little flags, are spent casings, where them boys had fired them guns. All right, I mean, just hundreds of rounds of spent casings, people running for help, them trying to rescue a bleeding student that has been shot. That's a student that has been shot that's laying on the sidewalk. I mean, it's absolute total carnage is what it is. And the school has never changed, it has never recovered. Understand that. The school has never recovered. A lot of these kids that have went through that was there that day, have died since then. They were wounded, and they've died since then. So that death toll is higher now than it was that day. And not only that, some of the children have committed suicide. You know, they're adults now. This happened in 1999. They never got over it. And they committed suicide since that day because of what that they faced on that day. And here are your victims of that day. All right, most of them are students. There's 2 teachers that these boys killed, but most of them are students. All right, that was one of the teachers. I'll show you the other teacher here in a minute, and he is the most beloved teacher of the school, and they did kill him. And the reason they killed him is because he was rescuing kids and getting them out. That's what he was doing, and that's why that they killed him, and that's him right there. He was rescuing kids, getting them out of school, so them 2 boys shot and killed him to make for sure that he couldn't do that anymore. I mean, they were just absolutely demon-possessed. I don't know how else to put it, you know, in any other way. People that don't believe in demons, they need to watch some of these videos that are out there, and they'll see the demon in individuals. And I've got another one, but the legalities of it has never released us out yet that we can show it, and it's of the New Zealand shooting of that mosque. But this is, right here is all afterwards, where that they're trying to come together, they're trying to regroup and stuff like that. They're bringing flowers because they lost so many people, and you can see the hurt and the anguish in all these kids' face and the parents' face. I mean, you couldn't imagine being a parent seeing your kid to school that day and your kid never come home, you know, over something like this and everything. But this will be played out here in just a minute, and then we'll get started. And that's just victims' clothing, and you can see 12 died. You can see how many bags of clothing are there, or things that are there from the victims. I mean, there was a lot of people wounded at Columbine High School that they never talked about. And one of the biggest issues that I have is when the media arrives at the shooting scene, the first thing they want to know is the shooter's names. That's the first thing they want to know. They're going to make them famous, you know, the media is. And you know, if there's anybody here in the media, please, I'm not trying to offend you, but that's the way that they are. They try to make them famous, all right? And whether I want to hear a sheriff or a police chief that is willing to stand up to the media and say they were cowards and never give them their name. You know? That's what I want to see. Somebody stand up and say, no, they were cowards. Never give them their name, because Anybody that will go into an instant school like this, or an instant workplace, or a church and shoot that place up where that nobody can defend themselves, they're cowards, is what they are. You know, you want to go somewhere, walk into a law enforcement roll call, start trying to shoot it up, where the people can defend themselves. You know, you'll find a little different outcome, is what you'll find on it. But, you know, you got them here at the gravesides of the people, and then they built a new library. A Time to Remember of Hope, that's the brand new library, because they never reopened their old library at Columbine. The police officer at Columbine, he has never returned to work, the SRO that day. He always ate in his office. He ate every day in his office. That one day, he decided he was going to Taco Bell to get his lunch. And he went to Taco Bell. The two boys went to the office to confront him because they knew that was their only threat. And then when he wasn't there, they went to lock the doors, to chain the doors of the school together. And whenever that they were doing that, he come back into the parking lot and he exchanged gunfire with them there. That was all of the little things that you saw, the flags. That's where they exchanged gunfire with him. All right, now they didn't hit him. But that officer, he done what he was trained to do. And what he was trained to do was to set up a perimeter, call for SWAT, and SWAT would make the entry and SWAT would clear the school. That's what they were trained to do. That's what he did. He's turned into a full-blown alcoholic. He's never come back to work and probably never will. All right? The reason why is he don't feel like he done nothing. All them kids died, he feel like it's his responsibility. Because what he was trained to do didn't work. Okay? And we will get to talk about that, you know, in law enforcement, the way that they're trained. This changed everything. Everybody wonders why we still show the 99 video with all the videos that we have. Because this incident changed law enforcement forever, right here. All right? The Columbine incident did. Go ahead to the next slide, sir. Okay? When an active, excuse me, when an active killer is in your vicinity, you must be prepared both mentally and physically to deal with the situation. Now, if you'll notice on this slideshow, it's got mentally before it does physically. All right? Because you have to be mentally ready when it happens. If you're not mentally ready, you got the deer in the headlight mode. Okay? How many of you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. On the deer in the headlight. You don't react. You just stand there and you make yourself a target. But if you're mentally ready, you do something. And I've had a lot of people ask me, what is mental ready? Mental preparation. Neil Armstrong. How many of you know who Neil Armstrong is? Yeah. Okay? First astronaut to step on the surface of the moon. He gets out, he says, one small step for man is one giant leap for mankind. All right, he makes that step on the surface of the moon. He comes back to Earth. They set him down in front of a media table, and one of the people asked him, what did it feel like to be the first astronaut or man to ever step on the moon? Who tell me what he answered told him? He said it felt like I'd been there 1,000 times before. How did he say that? Training and mental preparation. That's how he done it. Training and mental preparation prepared him for what nobody else had ever done. It prepared him. And that's the same way we are. You know, mental preparation gets us ready. We tell officers that. We tell businesses that. We tell churches that. We got to be mentally prepared for when something happens. If we're not mentally prepared, it destroys us. But if we are mentally prepared, God helps us through it. It's as simple as that. Yeah. So that's the importance of being mentally prepared. And then physically prepared. If you get yourself mentally prepared, I'll assure you, you'll be physically prepared. All right? That's just the way that it is. They go hand in hand. Go ahead, sir, to the next slide. Okay, active killing. Stop it before it starts. Lock the church door. All right, now I know that this is unheard of. All right? This is probably the biggest thing that we get in feedback from churches. Okay? Because we tell them to lock the church doors when the service starts. All right, now understand this. I'm Presbyterian. Half my congregation wouldn't be there if we did that. They can't get there on time. Okay? Because they don't know how. So, but the way that we do it is we have some at the door to let them in. Is what we do. We have some at the door to let them in. And they have heeded to this, where that they do lock the doors whenever that it presents itself. So you know, that way the church starts, doors locked, nobody else can come in. Now, I've noticed you guys have got the front door, correct me if I'm wrong, and the basement door is downstairs. That's just the two entrances and exits out of this building. Yeah. Whenever church starts, is them doors locked down there? Yeah. Yep. They are. And that's where they should be. And everything. So, lock the doors. That's one of the big ways to fix it. Poly One in Von Orr, that's a business, but they got down packed. You don't get in that place unless they let you in. It's simple as that. I mean, they took it serious. And they really put some money into it to fix their things. So, and it's easy to just throw a lock. It's what it's easy to do. So lock the church Lock it up before anything else starts, okay? Go ahead to the next slide. Go ahead. If an active killer is an individual engaged in a killing or attempting to kill people in a populated area. Now, understand this. There's two different kinds of active killing. Two types. Okay? You got the one type that most of them are that has a specific agenda. That's it. They're mad at your pastor over what your pastor stands for. So what they're going to do, they're going to end his life. All right? Now, they'll kill anybody that gets in their way of doing it. But that's their agenda, is the pastor. Now, that's the one. But the one that's the most dangerous is the other one. And they want body count. That's it. They have no agenda whatsoever. They just want to be famous with a body count. And the bigger the body count, the better they are. That was the two boys at Columbine. That was the Cho at Virginia Tech. That was the guy that went into Connecticut. And that's the guy that went into the mosque just a few weeks ago. And stuff like that. Those guys want a body count. Nothing else. The more people they can kill, the better they feel. All right? They are the ones that are so dangerous, is those individuals, because they don't have a specific agenda. It don't matter if they like you or not, they're going to kill you because of that body count. So understand that. In most cases, active killers use firearms. There are usually no pattern or method to the selection of their victims. All right? And that's the ones that we're talking about. Okay? The ones with the mass body count. They have no method to their selecting their victims. The other ones won't if you get in the way. If everybody in church, if the pastor's up front, and somebody comes in with a gun and says, I'm going to kill your pastor, and everybody says, he's all yours, sitting in their seats, he probably ain't going to kill nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Because he's after the pastor. I take it she's your wife. She's like, boy, I hope they don't. She's thinking here. But the thing about it is, that's what it boils down to, because of their specific agenda that they have. All right? But the mass body count don't. Go ahead to the next one, sir. Victims are usually selected at random in that other one. So what it is, if you got a shooter that comes into church because they just want the body count, the people on the back rows is first who get it. Why is that? Closest to the door. That's why they're coming in. All right, they're the closest to the door. They're the first one's going to get it. Okay? Now, I done this at a church in Etowah, and their pastor, whenever I got done, stood up and said, we're taking bids on these front benches next week. Well, he told me, all right, so all of his congregation was in the back, every one of them. And he said, we're taking bids on the front benches. But they're usually just selected at random. They come in, they start shooting individuals. Is what they do. Okay? Go ahead, sir. The incident is unpredictable and it evolves quick. I mean, it's very quick. I mean, from the time them boys enter Columbine, exchanged the first gunfight, or the first shots fired, until they were dead was in minutes. Minutes. Most police officer shootings that officers are involved in, how long would they last? Who tell me? Most officer shootings, I'm thinking shot people. Most officer shootings are 3 to 5 seconds with 3 to 5 rounds fired. That quick, and they're over. Right? They evolve quickly. Understand that. It feels like eternity when you're going through it, but it ain't that long. That's the thing. It happens fast. Time kind of slows down to the mind when it's going on. Okay, so you have to understand that. So it's unpredictable and evolves quickly. Go ahead, sir. Knowing what to do can save lives. Knowing what to do, being mentally prepared and physically prepared, can save people's lives. That lady right back there, if somebody come in that door right there, popped off around, she could hit that basement out the back before you could even think about it. I mean, she'll never give her seat up. Matter of fact, she's going to put her name on it. You're right. So, I mean, but that's what it boils down to. But we're going to talk about things to do. Go ahead, sir, to the next slide.
Okay.
Next one. Okay. Information you need to provide to 911 when somebody comes in. Go ahead. And this is what you do. Location of the active shooter. All right. The only thing you need to tell them is at Shady Grove Baptist Church here off Knoxburg. Everybody knows where they're coming. The good thing about it is, if something happens here, you got Loudoun County coming, Blount County coming because they're right there, Monroe County coming because they're right down here, and Bonneville. I guarantee you they're coming. All right, because everybody responds to one of these things. All right, because we take them seriously. I went for training to teach this to Hiwassee High School. or Hiwassee High School, Hiwassee College, no, let's say high school closed, so Hiwassee College. And Hiwassee College, whenever they wanted some blank shot in their school so that the kids could get an idea of what a gunshot sounded like. So we told them, he told all these professors that we were going to be shooting blanks in the school. We shot blanks in the school, but some of them, one of them professors didn't get the message. Okay? So he calls 911 in a panic that there's shots fired at Hiwassee College. And son, there's everybody from all counties coming to it. And I'm over there teaching the class. Okay, but that's what I'm talking about. People take it serious. So that's the good thing about everybody coming. Go ahead, sir, to the next slide. The number of shooters, 1 or 2. Normally there's never more than 2. And the good thing about it, if they are more than one shooter, they'll stay together because they feed off each other. If you'll watch the Columbine shooting, them 2 boys just fed off each other. They never got outside of each other. They stayed within sight of each other. Every one of them that they've ever seen that are more than one shooter does that. They feed off each other. They stay together. They don't separate. Okay, go ahead. Physical description of the shooters. Not asking you to say, oh, he probably weighed about 315 pounds, 6'4". His hair was just a little bit short, a little bald on top and stuff. Not asking for that description. Give us white or black. That's all we need to know. Okay? White or black, Hispanic. Do something that's simple, all right? Because I guarantee you, if I had somebody run in here right now and smack Goldie, and I'll use Goldie because Goldie's a friend of mine, had to run back up the door, and we brought a detective in here and they started getting descriptions of this individual. How many do you think they're going to get? There'll be a different description from everybody here because everybody sees things different. So understand that. That's the reason the description, keep it simple. Okay? Go ahead to the next one. Okay, the number and types of weapons, if possible. All right? If you know that they've got a handgun and they got a long rifle strapped across them, they got both, a long gun and a pistol and a handgun. All right, don't worry about saying rifle or shotgun, nothing like that. The officers are going to come in with what they need. All right, most of them are going to come in with rifles. Is what they're going to do. Number of potential victims at the location. If you know somebody has been shot, let us know. All right. Now, by letting us know, don't understand this. Rural Metro or who runs Loudoun County's ambulance service?
MetLife.
MetLife. Okay, they're not coming in until it's clear. All right, and I don't blame them. They're not trained to deal with this. So they're going to wait till the scene's clear, then they're going to come in and take victims. But the thing about it is, there's a lot of officers that we have, and I know Loudoun County has, and Blount County has, that are EMT trained, and they will start treating victims as soon as they can. Go ahead, sir. Okay, you have 3 options. Option 1, go ahead, and go ahead and flip down through this thing, okay? Okay, have an escape route in mind. Have a plan in mind. You got to have a plan. And then you got to have a plan for your plan. What am I talking about? Plan B. You got to have a plan B. That's an old General Patton thing. He believed in it. You have a plan, but you got to have another plan to back up that plan. All right? You have to, because how many people knows what Murphy's Law is? Okay? Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I guarantee it. It's going to happen. So have a plan B. In case plan A fails, have a plan B. Okay, leave your belongings behind. Now, ladies, I know you're proud of these purses and stuff that you guys carry. Don't worry about them purses. All right? Don't come and get them purses. I mean, there's a video out there. You can actually YouTube it and find it of a school board shooting in Florida, where the guy stands up with a pistol in his hand and writes a big circle on the wall and draws an X to it, turns to the crowd that's sitting in the auditorium and says, "Get out." Well, you don't have to tell him that one time. Yeah. No. He had to tell them a whole bunch of times. Because people hid under their seats and everything else. None of them done what he said. He told them to get out. He had a specific agenda, and it was the school board. That was it. Nobody else was he mad at. That's the reason he told all the rest of them to get out. Well, one lady got up and started leaving, turned, and started back. And he said, "What are you doing?" "Well, I need my purse." That's what she said. He said, "I said get out, but I said get out." She wanted to argue with him about her purse. Ladies, leave your belongings behind. Understand that. It can slow you down. So leave them there. Evacuate regardless of others agree to follow or not. If they don't want to follow you, get out. At this point, it's everybody for themselves. Understand that. I know that sounds awful, but that's the way that it is. All right? So if they're willing to go with you, go with it, let them go. But if they're not, get out. okay? Help others escape if possible. If you got somebody that's a little handicapped and they're wanting to leave, grab them and help them get out. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Or if you got somebody that's shot but not incapacitated, help them if they want out. I'm sure they will. If they've been shot and they're not incapacitated, they want out here. Okay? Prevent others from entering the area where the active shooter may be. That sounds simple. But believe it or not, how many of you ever watched a squirrel on the road when you're coming down the road? It just runs back and forth. That's people. They'll run right into the area where the shooter's at. It's absolutely amazing. Because when panic sets in, it's mass confusion. That's what it is. Okay? And one of the biggest things that goes on people when panic sets in is their hearing. They don't hear anymore. All right? So they don't hear shock, they don't hear nothing. All right? And it's called auditory exclusion. All right? So they'll run right into the area where the shooter's at. All right? Try to keep that from happening if you can. Okay? Keep your hands visible at all times. Now, the reason why we tell you keep your hands visible, because if you're waving your arms and things, people has a tendency to watch your arms, and they may pop around off to hit you in the hand. That's a lot better than hitting you here. All right? A whole lot better than hitting you here. Understand that. Okay? Call 911, but do it when you're safe. Don't do it when it's going on, when you're trying to get out. Do it when you're safe. Go ahead to the next one. Option 2 is hide from the shooter. Okay? There's not a lot of places to hide here. Understand that. One of the things is these benches solid back.
Yes.
They are. They're solid oak back, right?
Yes.
Okay. A lot of pistol rounds, these benches will stop. All right? It will hit them and stop. All right? Rifle rounds, probably not. Shotgun rounds, especially if it's slugs, not. If it's bird shot, it might. Okay? But if you get down in front of benches and stuff, it may stop some of it. All right? So you can use the benches for your thing. Understand, there's a big difference between cover and concealment when you're hiding from them. All right? You can cover with anything that will stop a bullet. Concealment is anything they cannot see you. Okay? But if they know you're there, it's no longer concealment if it won't stop a bullet. All right? You have to understand that. If you're hiding in a Sunday school room, I tell you, if you got Sunday school rooms downstairs or something like that.
Yes.
If you're hiding in a Sunday school room, lock or block the entranceways to the Sunday school room where they can't get in. All right? Now, this is the difference in the two shooters. Understand that. If it's a specific agenda shooter and he knows you're in that room, they're going to try to get in. All right? Because they know that's where you are. If it's the other one, they're going to hit the door and move on. All right? Because they know their time is limited. People are coming to take care of it. And they know that. So they're going to hit the door and they're moving on to the next area where they can shoot somebody. So I was doing this for the church down the road. It's a Methodist church that sits up off the hill. And I told them to lock the doors before their church service started. And their doors ain't locked in 50 years. They don't even lock them every week. All right? I mean, they leave it open all the time. So they were going to work on doing that. And what I told them, I said, lock your doors. And I said, when they can't get in, especially if it's that mass shooter that wants a lot of bodies, when he hits that door and it's locked, he's moving on. He ain't going to spend time getting in. He don't care. All right? He'll move on down to the other church down the road, is what he'll do. All right? The word that he can get on. So lock the doors to your hiding place, and you have to be quiet. Go ahead and next line. Silence your cell phone, including the vibrating mode. All right? Vibrate phones, you can hear them if you're in a quiet room. Understand that. They do make a noise. You ever heard one of your ministers?
Sure have.
You ever heard one ring when you minister?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. They do. They vibrate phones. You can hear them if it's quiet. Okay. I trained at the training academy in Knox County for the last 7 years that I was with them. And I tell them, the training academy people, I say, listen, I tell all them recruits, we'll be doing building clearing, and I'd say, listen, I'm going to make all of you vulnerable. All right. I'm going to make you really vulnerable to me in these building clearing. And these recruits, you know, it's right at the end of the academy, and they're feeling it. There is no way you're going to do that. With them, I carry 2 cell phones. Their county cell phone and my cell phone is what I carry. Eventually, I wised up and realized you can forward the county cell phone to my cell phone, and I quit carrying 2. But at that time, I carried 2. And we done our training in an old nursing home where the doors were right across from each other, going down the hallway. And what did I do is I carried one of my phones in and set it in a room. And I'd walk over to the other room and just sit over there in the dark. And whenever I hear them coming down the hallway, searching it, I'd call that phone. And whenever I'd hear it vibrate, I'd hang it up. And I'd hear this recruit say to the other, he's right there in that room. I heard his phone. and they would walk right across there in front of me. I'd peck them on the shoulder, and they'd about jump out of their shoes. Exactly what I told them, silence them cell phones, including the 5-lit mode, get them things turned off. Because back to Murphy's Law, all right? It's gonna ring. I mean, I guarantee you, I worked with the board in Knox County, if I was doing something that I had to be doing it, he'd call me, never failed. All right, he'd call me every time, so always silence them cell phones, including the vibrate mode. Go ahead, sir. Option 3 is the last option. In the church here, this may be the option you guys have to deal with. And it's fine. And the reason I say that is because your interest is right there, and there's nothing here. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people on this side can get out the basement. You guys, fight may be your only option. All right, it may be the only option you have. All right, so understand that. Fight as a last resort and only when your life or others nearby are in imminent danger. Okay, if somebody comes into church with a gun, popping rounds, I'd say your life's in imminent danger.
Yeah.
Who would agree with me?
Yeah.
It's an imminent danger at that time. All right, it's time to get real. It's what it's time to do. Attempt to incapacitate the shooter. What does that mean?
Mobilize it.
Plumb down. I mean, that's what it means. If it kills him, it kills him.
Right.
Understand that. You know, somebody looked at me and says, the Bible says, thou shalt not kill. I said, it does. And I said, if you read the old Hebrew Bible, it says you won't commit murder. And I said, there's a difference in it. There's a big difference in it. To kill somebody is taking their life. To murder somebody is you have to have actus reus and mens rea to do it. Okay, the act is always going to be there. Understand that? Because the act is committing the crime, or committing, killing somebody. But mens rea means you do it for your own benefit.
Yeah.
That's not there, defending yourself.
Right.
All right, that's what you have to understand. So there's a big difference between killing somebody and murdering somebody. All right? Somebody says, well, I just don't believe that. And I asked him, I said, you tell me anybody's killed more people than Joshua did in the Bible. And I said, God talked to him directly.
Yeah.
And, I mean, but he killed them. I mean, he wiped that whole civilization.
Amen.
I mean, but he done it because God told him to. Mm-hmm. God tells us we need to defend ourselves and we need to take care of our family. So understand that. So attempt to incapacitate the shooter. Act with as much physical aggression as possible. All right, I tell people, I say the difference between a good football player and a football player is a good football player, if he's going to hit the pastor that's running the ball, he's going to hit the pastor standing here like he's over yonder. All right? He's running completely through him. That's a good football player. The other one is going to stop in his tracks and let the pastor come to him. That's just a football player. All right? If you're doing with as much physical aggression as possible, you got to be good at it. That's the difference. All right? You got to understand with what you're doing may kill this individual, but you're saving lives.
Yeah.
Alvin C. York, what's he famous for?
He's a war hero. He's war hero.
War hero. War hero. My grandson is actually Alvin C. is his great-great-great-grandfather. Okay? Great heritage that my grandson come from. All right, but understand this, Alvin C. York. He made a statement that made him famous. What was his statement? He signed a letter that he wouldn't fight. He signed it. All right? A conscientious objective is what it's called. That he would not fight. That he wound up killing all kinds of people. Okay? And what did he say to his major that made him famous? I killed to stop killing. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Acting with as much physical aggression as possible when you kill this individual, you killed to stop killing. That's what you did. You're totally clear. God ain't going to hold that against you. It's as simple as that. Understand that. So, improvised weapons, throw items like the active shooter. These songbooks and things like that are great. All right. Another thing you can do, you can turn around if you got a good Bible. Okay. And I've seen some good Bibles in here tonight. You can turn around and hold that Bible in front of you. Believe it or not, that Bible will stop a bullet.
Amen.
It will.
Yeah.
It's compressed paper. And compressed paper stops bullets. Boom,
Amen.
like it or not. I've shot them with rifles and it stopped rifle rounds. Compressed paper
Yes.
does. I told my kids when they were in high school to grab the biggest book they had and throw it down their shirts if somebody come in. To help protect their vital organs. That's what you want to protect, is your vital organs. So they will. You can use stuff like that. So improvised weapons, throw items at it. But you have to be committed if you're going to fight it. okay? And you have to be totally committed. Your life and others depend on it. This is the thing. There was a lady in Cincinnati, Ohio, that went through the police academy. And when she was in the police academy, she said, I don't know why I'm even going to go to the firing department. This, I couldn't kill nobody if I wanted to. She said, I couldn't kill nobody if they were killing me. But yet she went through the police academy. Wrong line of work for her. You have to understand that. It's a wrong line of work for her. And one night there was a man that was high on drugs shooting up the community with a Mini-30. Her partner comes to it, and they trap him in a little alley like, and they come out of their car, taking cover behind their car with guns drawn on him, yelling him to drop his gun, drop his gun, drop his gun. He said, no, you drop your gun. She laid her gun down, stepped up behind the car, got down on her knees, and she said, let's talk for a minute. And he shot her right through the throat. Right through the neck. She took the way she looked at life and applied it to everybody. Can't do that. There's people out there that are possessed. They don't look at life like you do. You have to understand that. And it cost her life. That's what it does. So that's why you commit your actions, because your life and other life will depend on it. Go ahead, sir. Okay, go ahead and bring that on down. When police officers arrive, these are things to remember, okay? Because when they get here, everybody's going to want to talk to them. Remain calm and follow instructions. How does that sound? That sounds simple. I mean, you think about what you're coming out of. Okay? There ain't no simpleness to that, and officers understand that. Okay? They understand where your emotions are going to be, but you need to understand where theirs is going to be. They're going into something that everybody's running from. Okay? You have to understand that. They know when they come into it, they could die coming into it. So remain calm and follow instructors. Drop any item that's in your hand. Don't get shot by mistake. Right. If you have a handgun carry and you're in the church, okay, and the guy comes in, he pops around off, knocks somebody down, you draw your weapon, you shoot him and knock him down. Okay? I'll assure you by that time 911 is done made the call and law enforcement's coming. Get that gun out of your hand. Because the police will kill you. Don't get killed by mistake. It is the only call in the world where the police is told not to tell them to drop the gun. You come in and you end that threat. Right there. You shoot on first sight. So get that gun out of your hand. Listen to me. If I ever tell you anything, get that gun out of your hand. You notice I didn't ask how many people have it, because I don't want to know that. Okay? The pastor might want to, but I don't. Raise your hands, spread your fingers. That way they know you ain't got nothing in it. All right? The officers do. Okay, keep your hands visible at all times. Avoid quick movements toward officers, such as holding on to them for safety. Do not grab a hold of an officer and going to hold on to him. All right? Do not do that, because he has a job to do, and he's going to get you off from him one way or another. Him or her will. Trust me, they're going to get you off from him. If it's with the butt of a gun, they're going to get you off from him. All right? So do not grab a hold of him, hold on to it. Avoid pointing, screaming, or yelling. Don't say, oh, he's in there, he's in there. If 3 minutes has passed, he's done moved on. All right? So let the officers, they're going to go to the sound of the gunshots. That's what they're going to do. Okay? Do not ask questions when being evacuated. All right? Just do what they tell you to do. Okay? Go ahead to the next one. First officer on the scene, to arrive on the scene will not stop help the injured. They're going to step over. Now they're going. They have to stop the shooter, because the longer the shooter's there, the more that people's going to get injured. So they got to stop the shooter. So they're going to walk over. Expect rescue teams to follow that initial officer. Whenever that officer comes in, clears the sanctuary, all right, and he heads down the stairs, the rescue teams is going to start coming in and taking care of the wounded. You understand what I'm saying? And then there may be another officer go with him downstairs. Okay, these rescue teams retreat, remove the wounded. Once you've reached a safe location, you'll be likely held there, okay, until the situation is under control and all the witnesses have been identified and questioned. This is what they're going to do. Your detectives are going to arrive then. Okay, the detectives are always there last. You got to understand. They're the safest people in the world. They're going to get there last. Okay, and they're going to start asking questions. You know, do you know this individual? Who is he? Is there anybody in the church? Is he upset with anybody in church? What are they trying to figure out? Yeah, why? Why this happened? It's what they're trying to figure out. They may never know why it happened. All right? But they're going to try to get to the bottom of it. Do not leave the scene until law enforcement authorities have instructed you to do so. Now, understand this. Say, for instance, if a shooter comes in and shoots goalies. Okay, they're not going to hold his wife here. When that ambulance leaves out here with the goalie, they're letting her go. All right? They're not stupid. They can't question her with her husband with a gunshot wound and her not know what kind of shape he's in. So they're gonna let her go on with him. That's what you need to understand. They are not gonna hold you if you've got a family member or a friend or somebody like that that is actually wounded. All right, because the questioning will be no good at all at that point. Is there any questions for me?
We can probably think of about 100, but as you said, and I pretty much, whenever we started talking about having this class, this introduction, we pretty much knew that last option was gonna be there.
Fine, yes. And that's the reason that I will never tell a church that your first option is run. I never tell nobody that, all right? Because that's what Homeland Security says. I will tell you, it's what situation you're in, what option you have. All right, you have to understand that. The only option you may have is fight. There's a church that I've done this in that has one door. I don't know how they're past far. One door in and out. That's it. What option do they have? That's fire. That's it. That's the only option they have. You remember the Unitarian Church in Knox County? How many of you remember the shooting there? Okay? And that's what they did. And he come in, killed a couple people, they downed him. The men folk of the church downed him and took the gun away from him. All right? You have to be committed to your actions. If you're going to fight him, that's what it boils down to. You have to be committed. The jet and that was going to fly into the White House that crashed in Pennsylvania, those people were dedicated. They committed to their actions knowing they were going to die. All right, you have to understand that. That's one of the best movies, that's one of the movies I love. And it's where Robert Duvall's in it. They went to try to destroy an asteroid and it's all messed up. And Robert Duvall comes up with a plan to destroy the big asteroid. And that's fly the ship down into the asteroid and set off nuclear warheads. And then somebody says, but will we have time to get out? And the lady said, we're not getting out. And then one of them astronauts said, yeah, look on the bright side, they're gonna name high schools after us. Okay? You have to be committed to your action. You may not survive it, but the actions are there. I can be committed to my actions knowing my family's safe. Even if I die, knowing my family's safe. I can live with that. I understand that. Okay? So you're right, preacher, with what you got here. Fight may be the option you deal with.
Now, that being said, my only question is, we do have small kids, and we have children's
Yes.
church every service, and of course, morning services during Sunday schools downstairs. The adults are upstairs, but, I have already been donated with some radios.
Yeah.
And, I know not very big, I mean, we average 45, 50 people on Sunday
Yeah.
morning, growing. I've been talking to the deacons and stuff, we will have a small security team set up here.
Yep.
And, even after this class, I will probably have at least 2, starting very soon.
Yeah.
But that being said, do they make an instrument? Do their doors lock downstairs?
Yes.
Yes. But do they make an instrument to where if they're alerted, that they can, that will rip the floor that they can put under the doorknob?
I'll show it to you right here.
Yeah, you're talking about the Sunday school room.
Yes.
I doubt if they lock, I think they're just closet
Right,
doors.
so we need to get some, I figured they did.
They do, and I can tell you where I saw them at. Hiawassee College put them in. That may be what bankrupted them, I don't know. Right here. This right here. All right, that's what Hiawassee College put in. It goes into a metal plate in the floor, it bolts to the door, and you can't open the door. But the deal of it is, it sits on the wall, in that case, inside the room. And whenever they're alerted, they grab it, they stick it in, and it's there. And that's what it looks like, that goes in the door. And now the only difference is if you got closet doors, it probably ain't gonna work, because the door will bust.
That's what ours is.
But if you have solid doors, it will work. Hiawassee has solid doors, okay? How many doors do you have downstairs?
6.
6 doors? Something you may wanna think about changing your doors. You know, there is things that you can put under the door handle, you know, that will go into the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a cheap door. That's your issue. All right, understand that whole knob system will bust out the door. Okay?
Yeah. Well, we may look at getting something like that for now, and then later on, putting some better doors in, steel doors or something.
Yeah.
But we're growing, we're on the road.
Oh, I believe that. He said it used to be 20, and now you guys are 40. I see it. That's great.
This this is, I appreciate you doing
That's no problem. And, I've never, and that's what I told Governor, he said, does the sheriff give you, the sheriff pay you for this? And I said, no, he does not, but he gives me my time back for this. The sheriff wants this done to as many places as it can be done. He is very dedicated to the safety of the people, right? And I do at least 4 a month. I could do more than that if I had time to do more than that. But I do at least 4 a month. My next one's at Poplar Bluff Baptist Church in Telephone Plant. You know where I'm talking about,
Yeah.
it's a pretty good sized church. But
Yeah.
that's the next one that I'm going to.
So you said a while ago that you don't wanna know how many have a carry permit here, okay, that's something that I've been talking to a couple of
Good.
people, that I wanna find out,
Yeah.
for sure. Now, with that being said, say I've got, I'm not even sure, say I've got 5.
Okay.
How would you, if a shooter, I mean, that's basically,
That's-
downstairs.
And if you lock that one downstairs, they're gonna come in here,
Right,
all right? And they're probably gonna wait till you're in service when they come in.
yeah.
I understand that. They're gonna wait, till everybody's in here, that's when they're coming in.
Where would you have them, I know I would want, whenever I start this security thing here pretty soon, I want to have one downstairs,
Yes,
and.
because that's your precious one.
And one upstairs with the radio.
Yes.
Not letting anybody hear whatever, but as far as having people with guns carrying permits in here, where would you have them at?
I would have them sporadically spread out through the church.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I
Right.
wanted to be sure.
You don't want them right here on the end corners, right? Because them the first people they're shooting in the back,
Right,
all right? And they're never gonna get their gun out. Understand that. You're gonna want them sporadically spread out through the church, but this is what you have to do. You have to train your church members.
yes.
All right, understand this. Say, for instance, that this young man right here has one, and he's one of your security team members. Okay, and he comes to his feet when he hears the shot, and nobody's trained, everybody in his church does, boom, he got no shot at all. None. Your church has to be trained to hit the floor other than your security team. It has to be trained that way. Let the security team handle it, all right?
But until that's in place, bye. I mean, that's all I'm saying, if I were you, you got the entrance and there's, our base player on top, it's gonna be a 5.
Yeah,
But once we have a security team to plan together, it's a 5.
everybody needs to hit the ground, all right? So the security team has a line of fire. If everybody stands up in panic, there's no line of fire from anybody up there. You know, I mean, my pastor, and my pastor said, I'm fortunate, I've got 5 police officers that go to church with me, I'm one of them. And I'll tell you, even when I'm off, I'm not one of these guys that carries a gun in plain clothes where everybody sees it.
Right.
All right, I've never believed in it. I think the first time that somebody should see a gun is when you stick it under the chin and you shoot them through the top of the head. All right, that's how I feel about it. All right, but, I'm a firm believer that, that your gun should be concealed
Right.
where nobody sees it, because I'll tell you, if your security team's coming in here with a gun on their hip, anybody that sits on the bench wheel is gonna be doing this, it alerts people, so it needs to be concealed, as the gun does. Even when I'm off and you don't realize I've got a gun, I've normally got 2 on me. Now, you call me paranoid, I've been in law enforcement a long time.
Yeah.
Okay? I've lived this long, I'd like to stay till my wife retires so I can go home, okay? So, but, and that's what you have to do, your security team and your entire church all has to be trained,
Yeah.
okay?
So until we get that, 5.
Yeah.
Protect your pastor.
And I'll tell you this, I have seen carry permit holders, okay, that I'm talking about just average citizens that has a carry permit that can outshoot law enforcement. All right, I'll tell you, they can outshoot law enforcement. Then I've seen some that I'll shoot them and take their gun away from them. Okay, they can't hit nothing with them. Okay, understand that. And so that's one of the issues you have also. You want people that are good with it. Not somebody that whenever that they shoot up here, it's gonna hit the bench where this gentleman right here sitting. You know what I mean? It's somebody that can actually make the shot and everything. And I've seen this a long time. We used to do carry permits in Knox County, and I've seen it all, trust me. I've had a lot of guns pointed at me. Okay, yes, sir.
Should the church looking into getting the doors that lock from the out, I mean, I'm saying,
You talking about like the bar?
yeah, it's got the bar, should
That's
be.
what my church did. All right, all the doors on my church has the bar where that you can push it and go out, but you can't come in.
Panic bar.
Yes, the panic.
Oh, okay.
And it worked great. I'm telling you. And the fire marshal don't get mad at you for that. All right, that's the thing, they accept that, all right, so the panic bar is the best way to go.
Should the downstairs be, they should both be that way?
Yeah, I do them both that way, panic bar on both of them, that way they can't get in downstairs, and you know, you would never have to unlock that door then. You know, you can leave it locked all the time, because if they're going out, they can go out, then, you know, I'm talking about the people. If they're going out for something, they can come back in up here, you understand what I'm saying? So,
Do they have, go ahead.
Go ahead, don't go.
Do the front doors have to be clear
no,
glass, or
do not.
they don't have to be, okay.
Cause my church is a big one, there ain't no glass in them at all. It's got a little peephole, you can see through.
Yeah.
Now, my church, they put cameras in too, that's on the porch where that they can actually, and that's the thing, our security room sits right back in the back, and they look at the cameras when people's coming up, those security cameras. They look at the cameras.
How much are, say we wanted to get 2 cameras,
They're as cheap as you can, they're like $30-some a piece, and their clarity is unbelievable. I'm serious, cameras are, they're not like they used to be, cameras used to be ridiculously high, there's so many places out there now sells them, they're unbelievably cheap.
Connected to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, they'll connect to the Wi-Fi and everything.
What Wi-Fi?
We don't
You
have.
can't get Wi-Fi out here.
But I mean, you can still hard drive it to a monitor,
Okay.
where that you can see.
Okay.
Right? Cause mine has got cameras all over the place, and it's got little squares on the big computer screen, where that you got all that monitor showing.
Yeah. Now, the fire marshal says that you can't lock an exit door where you have to come back and get a key to go unlock.
Yeah,
You got to be able, anybody to go to that lock, get it, that door to get it. Now, about last year, a church in here, a couple of miles, I forget the name of it, but there was a man come in with a knife, went up to the pastor, and he said, "I've come to kill your pastor." And they talked him out of it. He throws the knife down and they run off, the dogs come.
he wouldn't commit it.
No.
Cause I'm telling you, most of them don't, I mean, one of the, and you know, and it's not always guns in these active killers. If you remember Ohio State, that person drove into the crowd of kids, got out, and run over some of them. Got out of his car with a machete and started hacking them up with a
Yeah.
machete. But there happened to be a campus policeman there that shot him and knocked him down. Yes, sir.
Most of them have a plan before they
Yes.
come in.
Oh, yes,
They're just not gonna come in
right.
and start killing people. They're gonna plan it out before they come in.
I mean, it's like when I was a kid, and this happened in Clinton, Tennessee, all right, and I was just a lad then, so it's been a couple of years ago. But there was a church up there that a guy, they were in revival, and the revival was going great. I ain't got no lie to tell you, it was going wonderful. And there was a guy walked in with a double barrel shotgun into that church, and he gave out a big roar, son, and you could hear a pin drop. And he said, "All of you so-called born again believers, get up front, I'm gonna blow your brains out." 4 people. That's what stood up front. All the rest of them backslid. Alright?
Oh, man.
He wasn't committed, because what his whole purpose was, he wanted to rip him cold. He laid the gun down and said, "You're the ones I want to bring." He found Virginia wine, that's a pretty poor way to find it. I mean, today's time, if he'd come in and roared out, somebody's gonna shoot him plumb full of holes that's sitting in the church. So, I mean, that's the limit you're dealing with, you know, and that happened when I was just a kid. Any other questions?
So let's say if somebody was wanting to fight, best thing to use, speed and ability, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, you got certain things that will help you. I mean, you got, like, I tell people, mic stands, anything with that, you know, you can swing things like a ball bat, you know. I mean, some umbrellas will flat hurt people. I know, I carry one. Can't get my hair wet.
So if you don't carry a knife, it'd be a good idea to start carrying a knife, right?
Nothing wrong with it. All right, if you don't carry a knife, it'd be a good idea to carry one.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And I'm sure there's carry permit holders in the church, and if there's anything I can tell you as a carry permit holder, practice. All right, I realize, and that's one issue that I have against the Tennessee handgun carry permit, is you only have to qualify one time.
Right.
All right, I mean, law enforcement has to qualify yearly. And I think if you're gonna carry a gun, you ought to have to qualify with it. And
Yeah.
that's the way I feel. So I wish, you know, my encouragement to you, if you are a permit holder, practice with it.
Well, that'll be part of, our
Yes.
qualifications to be on
Yeah,
this thing.
and it should be.
Yeah.
All right, it should be. There's, how many of you know where Trinity is down here? they have a team in place, all right? That team is in place, and they do that. They go out like 2 or 3 times a year, and they practice and they qualify. And they do it at Jimmy Quinlan's range down in Monroe County, is where they do their training. All right, so it's really important and understand, even as a law enforcement officer that qualifies all the time, post requires you to qualify once a year. We qualify in Monroe County 4 times a year. All right, we shoot a lot of rounds because I want the officers good. But in a high stressful situation where you're fighting for your life, okay, you're 8 times worse than your best down the road. So understand that, 8 times worse. So if you shoot a group that big, where does that 8 times go?
Yeah.
8 times worse in that high stressful situation. So that's something to think about. That's the reason you need practice. Any other questions for me?
Are you allowed to take any money? We take that
I won't take money, okay? There's one church done it, and I give it back to them, put it back in their building fund, or whatever they needed to do with it, all right? Because I don't do this for that. I wanna see people live a long life and be safe in their worship, all right? Our forefathers set up the Constitution of the United States for freedom of worship.
Yeah.
And we should be able to come into the house of God and sit down and worship without having to worry about things. All right? And that's how I feel about it. Our forefathers died for it. Peace don't come cheap. And if you think it does, go to these veteran graveyards and look at how many veterans are buried.
Yeah.
Right? It ain't cheap. For us to have the peace in God that we have, Jesus died for it.
Yeah.
Right? For us to have the peace in the United States that we have,
Yeah.
we got soldiers that died for it.
Amen.
All right? And it's that simple. All right? I appreciate you letting me come and talk to you. I realize that I'm out of my jurisdiction here, but listen, I love people. And I'm a firm believer that for a police officer to be a good police officer, he has to care about people. I believe that. Remember that if you're one working law enforcement. All right, remember that. All right, and God bless you.
Very, 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 very helpful information. Yeah. Okay. The number one thing I got out of that was, I think, was protect your pastor, okay? Protect your pastor. I ain't gonna be able to run, I can't move, I'm thinking, oh, my Bible and some songbooks now help me. No, I'll joking aside, I have been threatened, okay? I was doing a revival in West Tennessee one time and was told if I come back that evening, because I was preaching against drinking, that man's gonna kill me. I'm talking about when you go out in West Tennessee, you go out in some backward country. Yeah, it is. And I prayed about it. And I came back, and he showed up. And pretty scary situation. And he got up and was got up in the back of the church, and I was preaching. Of course, when I start preaching, I don't know who I'm looking at. I got 1 foot over yonder, and I'm okay. And he standing up cussing me, everything else. And I turned around and was preaching back up the aisle, and he stepped out. And about the time 2 of the deacons and a pastor went to grab him, he went past me and fell down the altar and got saved. And which turned out very good, but I'm saying it could have turned out very bad. Okay, that church had no plan, nothing, didn't know. But anyway, we are going to get something together, and if we have to contact Brother Dennis again or somebody. I know New Hope down here, they have a security team, and I'm good friends with 2 of their deacons and 2 members on that security. That's where we got the radios donated from us. Okay, but I mean, right off hand, I don't know how many of y'all have a permit. I'm not gonna ask you to raise your hands right now. I'm not gonna ask you to say nothing right now. But I will be calling on the time for you all to stay after a service, one of these services here in the next couple of weeks. I wanna know. Because when we do progress this and go forward with this, I wanna know. In the meantime, what few of you I do know, from what I can tell from Brother Dennis as of right now, we're gonna fight. If somebody comes through that door, we're gonna fight, okay? But I would like to maybe have one here or here, and if he does get through, we can get him, or it, the devil.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. So, but we will come up with a plan, and we'll be getting back to the church, and we'll announce it, what specific plans we're gonna have. So we will be ready. Okay, this helped us a lot. And so,
Amen.
Here in the next couple of weeks, I will have a two people security team and we are gonna look at them cameras. We'll have one posted up out here, to see who's at this door, if they want in, and we'll have one posted up down there. If we have to set them up on a, if we have to get another little laptop or a little, I think you can get a little TV, you can get a 19-inch TV and have them run right into you. Have a little spare, so we're gonna do that very soon, and have one man downstairs and one upstairs, and we'll do that pretty soon. And so awesome. That was awesome. Learned a lot. A lot of churches wouldn't do this.
No.
A lot of churches wouldn't have them come out and teach that right there. And I believe it's needed though. I can't say enough about veterans, police officers, and firemen that have given their lives so we can be here to worship and love one another and open God's word and see people saved and get to baptizing and everything else. So I'm thankful for you, for your service, all of our veterans, police officers, fire department members, going here, all volunteer. I love you, so I appreciate you. All right, everybody stand to your feet. Before you leave, thank Brother Dennis. Okay?
I know it.
Yes,
Donald.
Huh?
Donald.
Yeah, if you around me enough, you'll get used to it. I think I called Freddie Frankie till this week. I
She did too.
I can't remember who else, okay? I think I called Judy, Jandy for the first 3 weeks I was here. Okay, I'm trying. They get me, okay? No, okay. Shake his hand. Thank you for coming out here. Tell each other you love each other. 6:30 Wednesday, okay? Bring somebody with you. God bless you. I love you.
Thank you, Donald. I'll get back with you.